What's up, guys and girls? It's your boy FaceTime, and today I'm coming to you with a character spotlight video about Abigail Brand. But before we get into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we got some good content coming up. More character spotlight videos, got some series spotlight videos, a lot of comic talk and spec, and just a lot of general culture discussion coming your way. And we want to interact with you guys too, so make sure you go ahead and comment. Tell us what you want to talk about. We can get to it. All right. So today we're going to talk about Abigail Brand, and I got notes, so you'll see me look down a good bit. But she was an interesting character. She was created by Joss Whedon and John Cassidy. Her first cameo appearance was in Astonishing X-Men #3. It has a really dope Wolverine cover, as you can see. The whole line had a bunch of great covers from John Cassidy. He really killed it on these. And her first full appearance actually came a couple issues later in #6. Now, I remember at the time these issues were pretty big because they also featured the returning of Colossus. So those are her first appearances. Alright. Now, things about this character that you want to know is that what defines her physical traits, how you're going to notice her if she stands out, is that she's got green hair. The interesting part is it's actually her natural hair color, and it was inherited from her father, who was a blue-furred alien. So she is a human mutant alien hybrid, and her mutant half gives her some special abilities like pyrokinesis. She can actually coat her hands in flame. Now, in the comics, it's actually been depicted in two different colors, red and blue, but there hasn't been any given reason yet as to why that is. As part of her alien heritage, she has the ability to speak a lot of different alien races that humans can't even speak. Like she actually talked to Lockheed in his native tongue, which is a language that humans can't use to communicate. When she came in, she was the commanding officer of SWORD. That's the Sentient World Observation and Response Department. It was an offshoot of SHIELD. She was the head of it, and she had sort of an antagonistic relationship with Nick Fury, where she gave him a lot of grief over time. But she was always a Fury loyalist whenever it came down to it. And she had a very strong dislike for Maria Hill and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. Now, she also had in the comics kind of a odd, sort of creepy relationship with Beast, who was actually her boyfriend, or at one point, as she referred to it, her xenophilic experimentation partner. The reason that this is kind of creepy, or what made it kind of creepy, is when Beast is asking her how she could like him because he's just a blue-furred monster, she ends up stating that her dad was too, which just sort of makes that kind of creepy to me. But whatever. At one point in the comics, she was actually murdered by one of Legion's many personalities, and later, one of the other personalities altered reality to bring her back. Now, because he's an alien, she's always been very friendly with Brew of the X-Men, who is actually a mutant brood with an empathic nature, which is very different for his race and makes him a mutant. She actually went so far as to show up at his graduation as the parental figure from the Jean Grey School for Gifted Students. And when Alpha Flight later replaced Sword, Abigail became a lieutenant commander, and she was actually serving under one of the people that she disliked, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. It was actually later revealed also that she was offered the role of commander, but turned it down. This all helped to repair their relationship a bit over time, and they sort of became more friends as they worked together. But when Carol's Kree lineage became public, she stepped down and asked Brand to take over, which she reluctantly did. This was a plot point in the comics that didn't really make a whole lot of sense because she stepped down because she was half alien and gave the role to someone that was half alien. So, not really sure why they wanted to do that, but whatever. The last time we saw her, she was joining the mutant-only nation of Krakoa. Now, there's a lot of plot threads hanging with her. She has two tattoos, one on each bicep, one that says Anna, the other one that says Grace. They haven't explained anything about those or why that's there, just that they gave her the tattoos that show up on her. So there's a lot of dangling plot threads hanging with her. Now, what makes her interesting as far as the spec news goes is that she has seemed to show up in set photos from WandaVision. There were people in sword outfits or outfits that at least look like that, and I guess a woman with green hair, which would be Abigail Brand. The other part that makes her interesting is she actually just showed up in the comics at the end of Empire. In Empire of Aftermath Avengers, there is a scene that's labeled as the future, and it shows Hulkling and his Kree and Skrull army, and they're just completely defeated and battered. And she shows up with Manifold and tells Hulkling that he should have listened to her. The reason this became important is because in interviews, Al Ewing has actually went so far as to say this scene will play out in the future of Marvel Comics. It's gonna happen. So there's going to be some relevance with this character, and she's gonna be showing up later. Her appearances are still relatively cheap, and you can grab them for not too much money. I hope the information that we have put out there at least made the character somewhat interesting, and you realize that, she's going to show up in the future, and there's an interest there. There's a reason to take interest there. So, again, if you guys enjoy the content that we're putting out, and obviously we'll get better at this over time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can see us grow in our channels and in the community, and hit that like button. Thanks, guys.